So the match between Italy and South Africa has just come to a close. 42 points to 24, the victory for the Springboks in a contest that was possibly a bit closer than some anticipated, which honestly has been the trend for this whole weekend, whether it is New Zealand versus France, the British and Irish Lions taking on the Waratahs, or in fact this game with the 18-point difference, South Africa still getting themselves the big win and a few players definitely stepping up out there on the field. And in this review, we'll be looking through it, who they were and also who stepped up for this Italian side. But jumping straight into it, for the South Africans, I don't think there was anyone out there in particular that had an absolutely awful game. I feel like there were a lot of solid performances, some standouts. Morne van den Berg, he scored himself the 2 tries, although he did also have quite a few handling errors in the early stage of the match. His passing was crisp though. I do think that that is something that perhaps Rassie, as well as the Springbok selectors, will be looking at and very much enjoying in terms of their selections for the next few matches. In terms of that 10 jersey for Handré Pollard, he got his kicks over and did extremely well in that department, but once again, maybe at times it just seemed a bit aimless from South Africa. And Italy, second half-wise, they just seemed like a whole different side compared to the first. They were much more competitive, scoring 3 tries in quick succession. There was a patch in the middle where South Africa didn't score for 25 minutes, so I do feel like in that regard, Italy would consider that as a mini win. But it was an entertaining game. A lot of early handling errors coming from South Africa. Their scrum was dominant, but Italy were doing very well in terms of getting that ball out in time so that they didn't give away too many scrum penalties. They still ended up with a couple yellow cards from the game. Also an injury to Kanoni, which will be a bit of a concern heading into the next match up against the South Africans next week. But yeah, I enjoyed this game. I thought that for the Italians, they had a few guys who looked solid out there on the field. We didn't see as much of Menoncello as I thought we would, but we did see quite a bit of Fusco in that number 9 jersey. He was making great decisions in terms of who to go to throughout that second half, although I do think that that change of Alejandro Garbisi definitely did take Italy up to that next level. We saw quite a bit of Jacopo Trulli in that number 15 jersey, and Lewis Liner, when involved, he had a couple sneaky little kicks in behind that did seem to be troubling the Springboks, but they still had more pace. South Africa, there was a brilliant try-saving tackle made by Kurtley Arendse. He also did score earlier on in the game, had a couple handling errors. That seemed to be the trend for a lot of these South African players, but a win is a win. An 18-point margin over the Italians. I still think that South Africa will see a lot of positives from this performance. I think we'll see a new-look side going into the second game if it is going to be the split squad system that Rassie has been talking about. But one thing's for sure, this weekend it's been a little bit unpredictable other than the results in terms of who has won. So perhaps next week could be the same, and that is an exciting thing for the world of rugby. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. This is an extremely short recap of what did happen in that game. We might go a little bit more in depth with it in our future videos, because I also will, of course, be doing a lineup prediction of who I think will go into that Springboks team for next week. So be sure to tune into that as well. But thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you thought of this contest in the comments down below, and I will see you all for the next one.